Michael here, Raiders Nation. Are you ready for some earth-shaking news about our very own Maxx Crosby? I'm talking about the kind of update that could send shockwaves through the entire NFL, and it's all centered on our star defensive end. Let's get fired up and dive into this massive prediction. Teaser and hook. What if I told you that our star defensive end might be on the move? Yes, you heard that right. Rumors are swirling, and the stakes couldn't be higher for the Las Vegas Raiders. Strap in, because this could change everything for our team. And I'm here to break it all down for you step by step with all the passion of a true Raiders fan. Raiders fans, we all know the team isn't exactly in Super Bowl contention right now. The Las Vegas Raiders are closer to a rebuild than a championship run, and that's a tough pill to swallow for a fan base as passionate as ours. Despite having one of the best draft picks in the upcoming NFL draft and a ton of cap space, the team faces some critical decisions this offseason. With 17 unrestricted free agents and a star like Max Crosby at his peak, the front office has its hands full. Will they build around their defensive cornerstone, or could they be tempted by a blockbuster trade? The uncertainty is palpable, and every move they make will shape the future of this franchise. Max Crosby has not just been a player, he's been the heart and soul of this team. With jaw-dropping stats like 12.5 sacks in the 2023 season, he's proven time and again why he's one of the best defensive ends in the league. Crosby isn't just a star. He's the face of the Raiders, a symbol of grit and determination. But here's the question that keeps us up at night. How long will he stay? As much as we love him in silver and black, the NFL is a business, and stars like Crosby are always on the radar of other teams. His legacy with the Raiders is already cemented, but could the next chapter of his career be written elsewhere? Crosby has expressed his desire to remain a lifelong Raider, and that's music to our ears. He said time and again that he wants to finish his career in Las Vegas, building a legacy with the team that drafted him. That kind of loyalty is rare in today's NFL, and it's why we adore him. Yet the whispers around the league suggest otherwise. Even if Crosby wants to stay, the Raiders' performance, or lack thereof, might force his hand. Could his loyalty be tested if the team continues to struggle? It's a heartbreaking thought, but one we have to consider as fans. The Raiders have been clear. They're not looking to trade Crosby. The front office has reportedly shut down any talk of moving their star defensive end, emphasizing his importance to the team's identity and future. That's the kind of commitment we want to hear from our leadership. But in the world of the NFL, when the phone rings, you listen. Other teams will undoubtedly come calling, testing the Raiders' resolve with tempting offers. If the right deal comes along, will the Raiders stick to their guns, or could they be swayed? It's a high-stakes game of chess, and Crosby is the king on the board. Crosby's been vocal about his frustrations with the team's direction, and who can blame him? Playing at an elite level on a team that's been stuck at the bottom of the AFC West has to wear on even the most dedicated player. His passion for winning is evident in every snap he plays. How many more seasons will he endure in a team that's struggled to find its footing? As fans, we feel his pain. Watching a generational talent like Crosby fight for every yard while the team around him falters is tough. Could this frustration push him to demand a trade? The thought alone is enough to make any Raiders fan nervous. Now let's get to the meat. NFL insider Jeremy Fowler has some bombs to drop. He suggests that Crosby, alongside other top-tier defensive ends like Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson, might be at the heart of exploratory trade talks. This isn't just speculation, it's a league-wide buzz that could have massive implications. Fowler's sources indicate that teams are watching the edge rusher market closely, and Crosby's name is right at the top of the list. Even if the Raiders aren't actively shopping him, other teams are doing their homework. Could this be the offseason where everything changes for the Las Vegas Raiders? Fowler mentions Max, Myles Garrett, and Trey Hendrickson will all be involved in trade talks. That's a bold statement, but it makes sense. Elite edge rushers are the hottest commodity in the NFL. If the Raiders decide to entertain offers, the demand for Crosby could be sky high, potentially bringing in a haul of draft picks or players. Teams are always looking to bolster their defenses, and a proven star like Crosby is a game changer. But here's the flip side. If the Raiders trade him, they're losing more than just a player. They're losing a leader and a fan favorite. Is the potential reward worth the risk? That's the million-dollar question. Imagine the Raiders getting multiple first-round picks for Crosby. That kind of haul could fast-track their rebuild, giving them the assets to draft young talent and reshape the roster. It's a tempting proposition for a team looking to turn things around quickly. But at what cost to the heart of our defense? Crosby isn't just a stat sheet stuffer. He's the emotional leader of this team, the guy who sets the tone on and off the field. Trading him could signal a full rebuild, but it might also leave a massive hole that's impossible to fill. What do you think, Raiders Nation? How do you feel about this, Raiders Nation? Could you see Crosby in another jersey, or is he untouchable in your eyes? I know this hits hard for all of us who bleed silver and black. Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. What would you do if you were in the front office? This isn't just a hypothetical, it's a real possibility that could change the trajectory of our team. As fans, we're emotionally invested in Crosby's journey, and the idea of him leaving stings. But we also want what's best for the Raiders long term. So, what's your take on this blockbuster scenario? While the Raiders might not want to trade him, other teams definitely will try. Every phone call is a test of loyalty and strategy, and the Raiders front office will be under immense pressure to make the right call. Teams across the league are salivating at the thought of adding Crosby to their roster. Even if the Raiders stand firm, the rumors alone could create distractions. How will Crosby handle the noise? Will it affect his focus or fuel his fire? As fans, we can only hope he stays locked in and continues to dominate for the silver and black. If Crosby goes, what does that mean for our strategy? Are we looking at a full rebuild, tearing it down to the studs and starting fresh? Or could this be a strategic pivot, trading a star for assets while still aiming to compete? The Raiders' next moves will tell us everything. The draft and free agency will be critical. But Crosby's situation is the elephant in the room. If he stays, he's the cornerstone of our defense. If he goes, the Raiders could gain the tools to build a contender, but at the cost of losing their best player. It's a high-stakes gamble either way. With the draft and free agency looming, how will the Raiders shape their future? Will they keep their star and build around him, or use him to reshape the team from the ground up? The decisions made this offseason could define the next decade of Raiders football. As fans, we're along for the ride, cheering for every win and agonizing over every loss. But this moment feels different, like a crossroads for the franchise. Whatever happens, we'll be here, supporting the Las Vegas Raiders through thick and thin. What do you see in the team's future? Let's play GM for a moment. Would you trade Crosby if you were in charge? Or would you build around him no matter what? Share your game plan below. I want to hear your boldest predictions and wildest trade ideas. This is your chance to step into the front office and make the call. Raiders Nation, your voice matters. Whether you think Crosby should stay or go, your passion for this team is what makes this fan base so special. So let's get those comments rolling. What's your vision for the Las Vegas Raiders? Raiders Nation, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest from the Las Vegas Raiders news. Share this video with every Raiders fan you know. We're building a community of die-hard fans who live and breathe silver and black. Let's keep the conversation going. Do you think Maxx Crosby will remain a Raider? Or could we see him in a new uniform? Hey, Raiders Nation, Michael here, and it's a crisp morning at 6:14 a.m. on February 10th, 2025. We've got some hot news straight from the desert, and it's all about our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Are you ready for an update that could define our season? Let's dive in. We're talking about changes that could shift the entire dynamics of our team. From new leadership to draft prospects, this update is packed with everything you need to know. So buckle up, it's going to be an exciting ride. Imagine this. Chip Kelly, the architect of Ohio State's offensive juggernaut, now steering the Raiders ship. But the big question is, who's he going to draft? I've got a name that's going to have you buzzing. We're on the edge of something big here. This draft pick could be the key to unlocking a new era for the silver and black. But who is it? Keep your eyes glued because I'm about to tell you. The Raiders have made a splash by bringing Chip Kelly on board as the new offensive coordinator. This isn't just any move, it's a statement. But what does this mean for our draft strategy? With Kelly's track record of turning offenses into scoring machines, we're looking at a potential game changer for the Raiders. But the real question is, how will this affect our picks in the draft? First off, let's talk about our new OC, Chip Kelly. This man led Ohio State to a national championship with his offensive prowess. Now imagine what he can do for the Raiders offense. It's an exciting time to be a fan. But with this new leadership comes new expectations. Kelly's known for his innovative plays and rapid-fire offenses. How will this translate to the NFL? And more importantly, to our team? Enter Tyrone McMillan, Arizona's wide receiver sensation. This guy's stats are nothing short of spectacular. 84 catches, 319 yards, and 8 touchdowns last season. Could he be the Raiders' next big thing at the 6th overall pick? McMillan's not just a receiver, he's a game changer. His ability to stretch the field and make big plays could be exactly what Kelly's looking for to kickstart our offensive revival. And it's not just me who thinks so. Vinny Iyer from Sporting News has McMillan pegged for the Raiders in his latest mock draft. He says, the Raiders are in the market for a big play receiver for whatever new passing game Kelly crafts. Sounds like a perfect match to me. But the draft isn't just about receivers. With Kelly, there's talk about whether we should focus on a quarterback or build around players like McMillan. The strategy is evolving, and it's fascinating to watch. Speaking of quarterbacks, Kelly could pair with someone like Russell Wilson for an immediate impact, or we might see the Raiders eye a high draft pick for a future star. The quarterback position is still up in the air, but it's clear we need stability. Do we go for an experienced hand or invest in youth? This decision could define Kelly's tenure here. It's all about balancing immediate needs with long-term vision. Now, Kelly's known for his spread offense, but at Ohio State, he adapted to a more pro-style system. How will this blend with our current roster? The possibilities are intriguing, especially with a player like McMillan on the field. Imagine McMillan running those deep routes or slicing through defenses with his agility. With Kelly calling the plays, we might just have found the perfect offensive fit. Let's take a moment to remember last season. It wasn't our finest on the offensive side. We struggled to move the ball, and that's putting it mildly. Kelly's here to change all that, and with McMillan, we could turn those struggles into memories. Our fans have been patient, but now there's a sense of optimism. With Kelly's strategies and a potential new star receiver, we're looking at a fresh start. Under Kelly, Ohio State ranked 29th in passing last year, but that was college ball. Here's where it gets interesting. With talents like McMillan and Brock Bowers, we're talking about a potentially explosive offense in the pros. It's all about how Kelly adapts his playbook to the NFL. If he can make those college plays work here, with the right personnel, we could see the Raiders climb the offensive rankings fast. What do you think, Raiders Nation? Does McMillan fit the bill for our new era? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your speculation, your hopes, and your dreams in the comments below. This could be our moment to redefine what the Raiders offense looks like. Let's start the conversation about how we see this team evolving with Kelly and potentially McMillan. If we can secure a #1 receiver like McMillan and sort our QB situation, 2025 could be our year. We're talking about excitement, playoff pushes, and maybe even more. It's time to get excited, Raiders fans. With the right picks and the right coaching, we're on the path to reclaiming our spot at the top of the league. Just check the latest from Raiders News and Las Vegas Raiders, and there's buzz about other potential moves. Keep your eyes peeled for more updates as we get closer to the draft. The Raiders are always on the move, and we're here to make sure you don't miss a single piece of the action. Stay tuned for more insider info and speculation. All right, Raiders fans, it's time to rally. If you believe in this new direction for our team, give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and let's get this conversation going in the comments. Share with your fellow Raider Nation members. Together, we can make this season one to remember. Let's show our support, share our passion, and keep the Raiders spirit alive. That's all for now, but remember, the Raiders are on the move, and we're following every step. Stay tuned for more Las Vegas.